people in the industry, they make they industry drama, cause that's what they want. They want the drama. So they make it and they give it to you so you can speak about it. They make the content for you to speak about. I ain't the one, okay? So when I sit there and say that making certain comments about certain people, I can't afford it. Don't go there. This ain't what you want. You know what I'm saying? Project. You know, this ain't what you want. Like, I'm just saying though, it is giving wow. Cause I'm like, what kind of nature goes so low and scoops so low? Like, what nature, a human being, does that shit? I'm like, we supposed to be building schools and building communities and helping each other, lending a hand. Like, we should know celebrities on a first hand basis, on a personal standpoint, almost to an extent. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, take for instances so many situations, like, you know, people being disagreements with friends and lockdown and things like that. And I just feel like, you know, instead of dealing with the negative, like, okay, so what in the world is going on? Like, do you honestly think that possibly dealing with a celebrity has some similarity to where people are dwelling on dealing with these charges, dealing with these cases, maybe some evictions? Knock on wood, throw in the holy water, and burn the sage. Knock on the wood, throw in the holy water. The holy water, and burn the sage. Because I'm just like, the spirit of good things to come. Good things to come. Wonderful things. And it is okay. Because I'm like, I just understand that, you know, and that where it is like, so I was saying, you know, everything people do should do because they got talent, they want to do it, they take interest in it, and they like it. I'm like, all these other artists coming into the game, and all these other baby mamas and these young cats going back and forth, and I'm just like, I'd be amazed at how two people can have a relationship and be so entwined into a social media thing and be on the internet just going back and forth on all the things that they are dealing with their relationships. And I'm just like, hold on 1 minute, because this is like, these are the responsibilities to put on the elders. What do the elders, those 45, 50, 60, 70, 80, what do they have to say? So what do us as the older people have to say about what the young generation is doing? And I'm just like, well, there is a conflict with that. Because I'm just like, hold up, if you're the younger one and you're within age to be getting all this shit done, and I'm old, then what the fuck are you asking me for? But then again, watching them, and I'm just like, okay. Um, I can have my kids at 16 or 18 or 19 and 20 and then be as miserable as these hi ho, hi ho, and let's say hi to all the other baby daddies, which is sleepy, grumpy, sleepy, dopey, deepy, bashful, and dot. Okay, so I'm like hi ho, because we have to say hi to all the other baby daddies, because when you can afford these kind of vehicles at only 20 something years old, I guess having kids is just like easy to just decide, look, if we can afford this, we can afford this. But remember, money does not buy you love. And as long as money does not buy us love, but more like just storming down, and suddenly everything just really just becomes her fault. So it's like if you really can't just storm down and bring some white factors into the picture, then nobody really looks into Hollywood's scenarios and follow the script when it comes down to black women in Hollywood. Nobody, that's why they say the black woman is so undefended and so unprotected. Because, like, if it doesn't deal with, you know, being in the picture. I'm trying to find something to eat. I'm trying to eat on something. Like, got to give me something to eat. I need something to eat. I need something to eat. That's just how it is. That's just how they fight on that combo. Cause I gotta have something to eat. I gotta have something to eat. I gotta be able to eat. See what I'm saying? So when I talk about a black woman, you know what I'm saying? It's got to be something to eat. So it's not. See, that's the thing though. It's not all about considering that it has to be white. That's really not what it's all about. Cause see, that's just on a narrative of trying to embark on reading that black woman's diary. So in some ways, it's like shame on us because, if you need to feed on your litigations, then you sort of allow your own worth to be depleted in a way. You sort of, take a notch or two down on your worth because, you have to feel like you're worth more. You have to know you're worth more. So it's like, how can a black man take you seriously and how can he step in if you don't feel like you're worth more? Because the narrative is always there. There's always someone there to cover the narrative and speak on that. So it's like, in trying to follow the script, you're following it from other people who don't necessarily look amongst the same standard to stand on, right? So it's like if I'm eating and you're eating, that builds the bond of the community. So it could, anytime you're dealing with fam. So if I say, well, okay, we're fam, we family, we good, we cool. If I eat out, you eat. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody ain't your friend. Everybody ain't your partner. Everybody ain't gonna keep real. Say I got you, then I got you. You know what I'm saying? So everybody ain't there. But at the same time, it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like when I eat, that should promote good balance and good connection. So only time as the script needs to be narrated on a concept of trying to place that embarkment of the black woman's diary. Suddenly the concept is I have to, and it's like to some extent these young people are sort of like building that informative acknowledgement there, because you have to acknowledge that when I eat, it doesn't mean that I need you to be up on my plate too. Because it amazes me how we could work on anything and anything and anything, but it's like as soon as a black woman builds a step to take forward, and I place a plate and I present something on my plate, suddenly I have to offer to others. So it's like the thing, as black women, we have to sort of recognize, are we in beef or are we in a boundary war? Because I mean, there's beef and there's boundary wars. Like, there's boundaries with everything in life. Everything ain't always beef, but sometimes you gotta respect your damn boundaries, motherfucker. Like, give me 50 feet in this mother. Like, do not need me. Give me 50 feet, motherfucker. Like, bitch, you know what I'm saying? You shit, I'm always tell me, get out my face. Hey, all in my mouth while I'm eating. You want me to fix you a plate? Don't be on my plate. I'll fix you a plate. Cause the only way you could be in my mouth when I'm eating is if I might have went to the store and got something to eat, and I probably didn't get nothing for nobody else. Just got a little something for myself. And that's the thing, like, it never really dawns on people. Like the song says, no, I don't want to see you whole, but you don't know what you've got till it's gone. But you don't know what you got till it's gone. See, that's the thing, like, don't come eating on my plate because you didn't know what you had before. I hate like when I build something with somebody and then suddenly because that person eats, suddenly it's like everybody else's time to eat. Like, no, when it's my time to eat, it's my time to eat, boo. Like, you never know what you got till it's gone. And at the end of the day, it's like, that like Lil Wayne say, wouldn't wanna, I ain't gonna miss you, wouldn't wanna be you. You know what I'm saying? Cause I meant like, hey, like when you had it, you ain't want it. Obviously, cause it's like you ain't even think to start to build that nest until you see my ass eating. Then that's when you decide to cross and decide to think that something here was worth your appetite. Something somehow sparked your interest. It ain't that much competition for submissiveness, the youth and the old. To some extent, you have to realize that it ain't a good thing coming through all these communities, going from community to community, 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 community. That's like going from plate to plate to plate to plate to plate to plate to plate. One barbecue to one barbecue to one barbecue. Friday 1, Friday 2, Friday 3, Friday 4, Friday after, Friday after, Friday after. All these barbecues, all these places. And I'm just like, at the end of the day, though, it's like, why is it that we always have to find meals off of other people's hunting? And somebody went there, hunted this, and fed themselves, and that's when somebody else wants to come and eat. What does this have to do with Hollywood? A lot. And we are not focusing on just a daily blog. Doesn't really give much, um, you know, highlight into the Black woman's diary. But if you watch BET, the Oprah channel, it is overflowingly loaded with the black woman's diary and the black man. You're getting all that juice and all that flavor. Hip hop news gives you all the juice and the flavor. So my thing is though, it's like only time we know how to address the black woman is when she's in her heel and her shoes in running position, as if to identify the black woman is more just of a thief and a rogue. That's what this has to do with Hollywood, because when you think about it, if that's how you're pitching the game, then you'll have a bunch of babies that hate the ladies that make the babies. Because if you identify her as just a rogue or somebody who takes something that you constructed for yourself in a way that's weak, and that's identifying that there's something deeper going on here, there's another level that needs to be addressed, and why women feel the need to definitively black women don't have enough respect for each other, because it's not so much as though I don't really believe that it's so much as baby mama drama, but it's like in a country where you only can be married to one person. See, we're trying to battle history in the future, because historically it was okay to have 3 or 4 wives, historically speaking. But also you have the history of slavery, where black folk weren't even allowed to have relationships anyway. And even if they did, it might as well not been, because, their families was always broken up and separated. So now, and even in today, you can only be married to one person. So you really can't have monogamy, but the polygamy, or the something polyography or whatever it's called. You can't have that because you only can be married legally to one person, or it's illegal. You know what I mean? And you can get into legal issues, which I mean married to 3 or 4 people. So people would just be like married to someone and have people on the side. But I'm like, that's a means of responsibility, because you have to just take responsibility. If you want all them kids, you have to realize that if women feel like you're not taking care of the kids, it's not being bitter. How is it being bitter by me going to the hierarchy, bringing this in front of the courts and saying, look, I wanna find a rightful judgment to get this man to help me support a baby that me and this person has together. But that's exactly why having strict relation laws are important, because it helps avoid situations where people are not aware of who the baby daddy and who the baby mama is. Because it is really not cool to where it took a lot for me to give you all my loving. It's just a thing I gave you everything for nothing. Uh, I probably could sing that better, but anyway, ain't no money on the table. I'm just saying, like, I think that, allow a happy home to be a happy home, or allow what you do with somebody to be yours. Like, let that moment be yours for yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, before you get even, you have somebody else. Oh, well, you know, uh, I'm like, well, if you ain't want to do it, you just shouldn't have did it. Don't start no shit. Well, don't be no shit. I see it. Because I'm like, at the same time, like, and you want to know what's going on in the kitchen. I mean, talk about, oh, I tried to share what I did. I checked it every day. Mm. Speaking of, and the news as well. Um, what is up with them saying something about the dog? Yeah, goodness, the dog got away, and so look, the Hollywood media these days are giving the funky, 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 funky fresh. So I like, we get into the funky, funky fresh. We gotta get into all of it. So what is up with that, right? So we gotta get into, oh, and I mean, the thing that broke my heart about that is I said, I just felt heartbroken about that because I said, oh my goodness, did I just hear that didn't they trying to say they want to put the dogs down? I'm like, at some point, I think we as society, we have to take responsibility that, you are giving people animals and you're giving people these dogs and you're giving people these house pets. At some point, I think it is the responsibility of possibly even the community and other government organizations of the city, because I'm like, the city opens up its property um and its you know land for people to come and stay there and people to raise their kids there and go to school. Like, it's like the people make these businesses. The customer is always right. And that's the thing that gets to me is that these is like, people are so selfish sometimes in some of these companies and so forth, because it's like you have a tendency to forget that it's the people that make the company. It's the people. Don't ever forget the people come first. And we're not perfect. We make mistakes. That's what they're called. They're called mistakes. They're not called people being evil, sinister, nasty. People make mistakes. So it's like, if you have something that you're giving to the people, at some point, don't you feel like maybe you should be somewhat responsible as well to consider enforcing some of these um, definitives and obligations that they put on people and expect people to follow. You expect people to follow these obligations and these legal perimeters, then that should be somewhat the responsibility of the city as well. Like checking in and making sure that, people's cages are up to par, and that should be expectation. Those are the type of jobs. I mean, that's one way of keeping people with a job, because then you could check up on these cages and make sure the leashes are tight, the collars are good in place, the area is clean, it smells fresh, everything is up to par. So I feel like, that should be like a daily routine. It's like they do daily routines to keep up on people's electrical meters and the readers and all. That should be an expectation as well, as to keep up with people's, specifically these dogs. Like people who have dogs that should be like something that, like they should have like signs from the government that signify that this property has dogs. So therefore, the city people of the animal responsibility can just have the right to say, look, we have to do a daily routine and make sure everything's accurate and up to par. They're not able to get out. They're not able to, you know, as any concern can be. You know what I'm saying? Because animals are usually trained by certain certain sizes of things that people place, like little bite cushions and stuff. I mean, at the end of the day, it's just like, I feel like instead of just trying to beat a dead horse, at some point, I think there just ought to be a law that says, look, it should come from the government and it should be responsibility. Like, I feel like every time you, like, pay some city bill or whatever, they should have something there that signifies whether you still have, a cage. See, like anything that needs a cage with like those beware is there type pets, yeah, automatically government posting right up in the grass for everybody to see. Look, anytime we can stop in and make sure the cages are legit and they're not in a position where they can get out, because dogs are dogs. Big dogs play rough. And naturally, if the owner is not there to indicate you're playing too rough, it's possible. Hey, so I'm just like that. I sort of feel like, in a way, the whole community in the city let that situation get out of hand, because It's just, I mean, some things just giving common sense, man. Some things just giving common sense. Like, it's, it's the city's responsibility to uphold the obligations and limitations as well. Like, people are only human. And there's more legal, you know, um, there is more, will be this way. The Burger King, Kingy, and, more like in the corner of, yeah, those who sort of set the bar on law than it would be for just any basic patron. The only way you can get away with that one is if all the patrons and all the people came together and stood on that and supported whatever they was trying to get done. But what does that have to do with Hollywood? So anyway, shimmy my opponent. Okay, so found on a milk box. Then hey, you like it, I love it. You know what I'm saying? But honesty is the best policy. Hard day's work deserves its pay. Because there is the scripture in the Bible speaks about the king that didn't want to pay the people. That's why people should read the parables in the book of Matthew. I'm going to read the parables in the book of Matthew. The parables of the book of Matthew speak about the three candles, the versions, and the three versions of the three candles. Speaks about the king, speaks about the seeds that were planted in the ground, the people who worked all day, and the one who didn't do as much work but got paid the most. Like, look, financial woes, all this, well, I did give you credibility. I placed your name out there. I gave you brownie points. I mean, at this point, you can make your own ends. But people are saying, look, I've already been that ish. Pay me, run me my coins. Hell, you want something? You gave me, you allowed me to and helped me to get my name out there, and that should give me some work. Pay me run me my coins. Ain't trying to hear all that, you're such a mogul. I should just appreciate having been working with you and been able to do projects with you. That should be good enough. Or maybe they did get paid and didn't get paid what they felt they were worth. But you're talking about Hollywood. Hollywood is full of people who everybody wants to be a fucking mogul. Everybody wants to be a damn mogul. But hell, I like way like, oh well, you just a mogul. You're just a Hollywood sensation. Like it was just an honor just even work with you. I'm just like, don't be surprised if she asked what kid shit. Cause I'm just like, really? Oh, that's what I was supposed to say. I was supposed to say that you're such a mogul. I should have said appreciate it just being able to work with you. Oh, okay, that's what I was supposed to say. So I wasn't even supposed to be like, run me my coins. That's the deal we had on the table. Cause see, I figured because you was a mogul, you'd be good for the plan, for that money. Figured you'd be good for the money. seeing that's how you're coming up short, I'm like, I'm not thinking you're such a mobile anymore. Hey, she ain't hear that from me. Ooh, wait. Wait. Oh my goodness, are we out here talking about some dang 10%? Okay, jeez. Oh, work with me. Work with me. Oh, watch over me. All of my steps in your word. According to your will. You know, so I'm like, yes. Jesus, all around me every day. Jesus, till as I travel. I know you will, yes, Lord, I know you will, yes, Lord, I will. Okay, yeah. Need me not come. Don't make me. Oh, maybe choose for you. Don't make me have to choose for you. Hey. But what do y'all think about young women and older people going together? People on a cougar in the mountain lion. I'm just like, that's how a real nigga show, bitch. Kinda love. I'm like, okay, so the young niggas want to represent and step up and be like, yo, you know what I'm saying? You don't have to cry no more. Baby, it's over. 'Cause I'll be what you're looking for. You know, like, you don't have to feel old. Like you're all dried up and shriveled up prune. Okay? Get your head in the game, no G code. Like, look, I can handle all that. Like, don't be looking at me. That's a little young G. So, like, what is this? Like, a whole bunch of, like, so it's like we have, like, a whole bunch of Stella getting her groove back type ish going on, y'all. Like, the young boys, you know, they reaching high up in it for the stars. They reaching for the stars so high on up there. Okay? But they press play game advanced level. Ooh. So they say they don't want beginners level with them young girls. So they say they want them a old one. I want one about 20 years older than me. Hey. I mean, he biting off a whole lot to chew though. He ain't asking for a slice. Homeboy ready for the whole pot of whole cake. He ready a baker's man. Put it in the oven as fast as you can. Slap it and pat it. Let it be. Put it in the oven for me. Okay, not out to the side, but in the oven straight up. Just like, you know what I'm saying? like peachy. So what it is? I'm like, you know what I'm saying? Cause when they come in, mama, I got a baby. I could have back though.